We've got somebody recording for us. Jake is recording for us, and with me tonight I've got Andy Vigna from Indiana. Some of you may want to follow Andy on Twitter. And you know, Andy and I have the joy of working together, right, at the Climate Corporation, and got to know Andy through the DeKalb organization as well. So Andy's got kind of a wealth of knowledge. We're really both in the same boat, though. And so I thought the topic tonight was really relevant with dealing with heartbreak and the fact that, you know, the passion is to farm, right? As most young kids and individuals that grow up and they've grown up on the farm, or they just have that inborn passion. And so Andy, we're both in the same spot, though, that we work off the farm. Yep. So tell me how you deal with, how do you deal with the heartbreak?
Well, so I'm Andy Vigna. I grew up just outside DeWitt, Illinois, and my family no longer farms, but I get the pleasure of farming alongside of my in-laws when they let me. I live in northwest, or I actually live just north of Indianapolis now in Westfield, and it's only a 3-hour drive home. So as many weekends as I can, definitely in the spring and the fall, I like to get back and help out. And you know, it's not just driving tractors. I like to actually get back and help out and do some of the dirty work too. But it's where my mind's at all day, Sean.
Right.
When I'm going to visit a farmer, you know, I work with a lot of farmers. When I'm going to visit a farmer, I'm thinking about, you know, our operation on the whole way there. I sit with him, hear about his operation,
yep,
and do a lot of, you know, reflecting back to how we're doing things, because the guys share a lot of things with me. And it's been neat to share some of that back, and then also, you know, as I go from farm to farm, it's great to talk about agriculture and just to share with others everything I learn. But the heartbreak's tough. I want to be on the farm.
It is. And do you feel like you can kind of get the best of both worlds and maybe go help some guys that, you know, if your wife doesn't make you come home right away, that you can get out in the field a little bit to maybe ease some of that heartbreak? Or do you have that opportunity, or is it really strictly business?
Yeah, when I go home, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunity's definitely there. When I grew up, we kind of quit at 5, and I always had this pent-up desire to stay in the field. And
right.
When I go home, I mean, I'll get in the cab on Friday afternoon, Friday evening after work, and I'll try to go all night if I can. Shut my eyes for a couple hours and try to go all through Sunday.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of it. But it's not just the getting away from work.
Right.
It keeps me very grounded in my job. So get to use, you know, some of the products we represent, sell on the farm, and provide direct feedback to our engineers, and use them just like we expect, you know, our farmer customers to use.
Yeah. And do you think, though, that, you know, you've got that farm background, which is helpful to our jobs, right? And being able to hear what farmers tell us, be able to take that back to product. But how do you think, because I know for myself, there are situations or use cases that I have that maybe other farmers don't. So how do you try to remove that bias, or do you feel that that's kind of a challenge too, as you think about what can we do to improve our customer experience, but also, you know, not necessarily maybe exactly what we want, but what they want?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of listening, and it's listening first, because everybody understands their farm different, and it is different, you know, and we don't use any starter fertilizer. In the area that I work in, I mean, if you don't use starter fertilizer, it's pretty rare. Right. So it's really, you know, instead of a bias of maybe sharing how we do it, because we think we do it the right way, it's really just learning how others do it, seeing other challenges. Except for the positive basis in Indiana, I think that's pretty cool. That's a challenge I wish I could take back to the farm.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a whole lot of learning, and it's awesome. It's great to talk to farmers every day. And I always start my day, if Bill Graff's listening, I always start my day with Bill as well.
Absolutely. Breakfast with Bill and get the lowdown. I know Bill's out at the RNC, so getting a few updates from the Republican National Convention and hearing what's going on out there. So, but certainly, you know, I think it is important for us as young individuals in agriculture to really think about, you know, how can we take our leadership and our opportunities in farming and deal with the heartbreak that is painful for some of us, but certainly we can take that and make it an opportunity and deal with it. Much like last night, talking with Martha, we did a little Monday with Martha Smith, another coworker, and you know, how she uses women in agriculture and really trying to not use it as an obstacle, but just overcome it and do the best you can with what you've got. And I think that's what, Andy, you did a nice job of summing that up, and how you deal with the heartbreak. So thanks for joining Supper with Sean.
Thank you.
As mentioned, breakfast with Bill every morning about 7:30, and we'll try and find somebody else for tomorrow night on Supper with Sean. But thanks for watching. Feel free to share, and have a great night.
Thank you.